Hi, hello, good evening. I am, my heart's racing because I have so much that I'm excited to share. I found so many pieces to this interview. Remember the interview that was quoted or linked in the lawsuit, in the amended lawsuit? I found so many clips to show you and discuss. I don't know if I'm excited or I'm just like nervous. Um, but boy, boy, this is oof, not looking good. Not looking good. All right. So I don't even know how to organize this. I'm gonna start with a couple of other things before getting to this, just waiting for anyone to join that's coming in later. Um, oh my gosh, this is just so insane with this video. And it's out there. It's, in 4K published, all that stuff. Okay. So a little bit on just like little tiny bits of adjacent information or whatever. Um I was actually like wondering, wow, my brain. Excuse me. I was wondering, did Blake Lively's team do this on purpose as far as asking for, Friedman to not depose her, to not be the one deposing her. And, is this kind of like reverse psychology type of thing? Could it be that they wanted to like trick the Baldoni team and Friedman into this false sense of security? Because Emily D. Baker, I was watching her earlier today, and I was so I love hearing her talk about all this stuff. And I was watching her talk about how that's the last thing you want to do, to say to a lawyer, hey, I'm afraid of you, basically, because it's just going to give them like a sense of like, oh, I got this. Um, but I don't think so. I don't think such a high level lawyer would let emotions get into this. I mean, he wouldn't be this top lawyer if he did. But I don't know. What do you think? Let me know below, or in the chat. But yeah. And then also I was kind of just having this moment of like, oh wow, what Diddy has, the whole trial around Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever, Sean Combs, whatever, what that kind of has done with, whoa, everyone's kind of being questioned by the public, like were they part of this in the music industry, and the adjacent to that industry. This lawsuit seems to be more and more including of the Hollywood industry, especially the behind the scenes industry. And I mentioned this on my live earlier too. So now Emily was thinking like everyone's going to be deposed, including Sony and Disney and who knows how many people there. And then the PR companies are already involved, and we see the inside of the PR world and so forth. So at this moment, what celebrity isn't somehow implicated in some sort of lawsuit, whether as a satellite potentially to be brought into it, or in the public media brought into it, or directly into a lawsuit, as far as like the movie and the music world? So, yeah. The other last thing before I get into the big chunk of this video, I couldn't find it. Oh shoot, because I just got with this, but I really saw this like moment in the Nice Pool video, one of the ones that came up on my feed that I watched, where there's like this heartfelt "I'm sorry" Nice Pool from the, I guess, regular Deadpool. Um, and as he's like holding Nice Pool as a shield, but really not even a shield because he's not moving, he's just killing him. As Blake Lively's, what is it? Female pool, woman pool, lady pool. Yeah, I don't watch these movies, but as she's shooting at them, and yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, so the big one. Oh boy. Oh boy, it starts right at the beginning. So I'm going to share a lot. I am hoping this is the one. The one. Yes. So I have quite a few clips to show and to talk about and to highlight. This is a gold mine that how did this not get picked up by anyone before the lawsuit? Or maybe it did and we didn't see it, but like the main YouTubers, the big YouTubers, I've not seen talk about this until probably now they will. So they're asked about the process. And the way Colleen answers this, she omits Justin completely. This is a really quick one. We're starting off pretty like soft with this one.
Movie. So I'm curious, Colleen, what has that process been like for you? Has it been surprising? Has it been enlightening? What's it been like for you?
It's been both of those things. Also frightening and stressful, and the best thing that's ever happened. Yeah, I just can't even describe how surreal it feels. I think you guys know, like, I sold the rights to this 4 or 5 years ago. And so to actually finally see it happening and happening so soon, and the fact that I'm so genuinely excited for y'all to see it because
Anyways, she keeps going on. It's a fair question, it's a fair answer, it's a nice answer. But considering what we know now, it's interesting how she omits because as you'll see throughout, it gets like more and more obvious. Justin is mentioned by name, I think, only once. And I think Colleen mentions him. And the other times she says it herself as the director. Blake never mentions Justin by name. And then he's not really a part of this as the main character and as the director. You'll see what I mean as far as it getting a little bit more interesting. Because you might at first say, oh, well, okay, that's not a huge deal. Okay, so this is the next clip that I want to share. Sorry for all of this.
Is. She has such a dark sense of humor. And I'm
This is
like,
Colleen.
where is it? And you can see it in her writing, but like Lily's voice, it was a little bit more Colleen in the movie than
no, I do agree with that. I am very sarcastic, and I think the people that
Oh,
know
sorry.
me know that. And
Sorry, I started a
if a
little late.
superhero movie was just female emotions, that's what Colleen does. You know?
I agree.
It's true.
just want to add that you brought to her own. I'm just gonna say.
Well, Colleen
Phenomenal.
is such a ball buster. Like, she is so mischievous. She has such a dark sense of humor. And I'm like,
So that was like my second. Again, we're starting with the soft ones. Trust me, it gets just better and better or worse and worse and worse depending on how you want to see these things. Yeah, I don't even know. I haven't watched the other part. I might skip a couple of these because they're so like not that significant. Colleen talks a lot about how Atlas is her favorite character, and how Blake is like, I was standing right next to you, which I think under normal circumstances that's just cute and funny and playful and whatever. But I just feel like I don't know, the sentiment of this whole video is oddly around Atlas so much in a way that's making me uncomfortable. Talking about unwanted attention and objectifying and all this stuff, which actually Blake mentions later on. It's a little ironic that I don't know they have this kind of continuous objectification of him in a way of Brendan. All right, so let's move on to I'm just gonna skip that favorite character part because that's just again it's just there's much better things out there. Okay, so this is wait yeah, this is another little kind of soft where we're getting a little bit into the hmm parts of the answers here.
Your favorite scene to film in the movie and why?
I mean, I think in food, so I was like, "Oh, that one day I got those cinnamon rolls from the Hive. That was a good day." But, like, when I think about what happened that day, I was like, "Oh, no, that was, like, deeply tragic." Like, every day was sort of, rough, because, Lily goes through a lot in this movie. So the day that I had the blueberry pancake cinnamon rolls
Was the best day.
was the day.
I can confirm, like, this girl eats so much. I don't.
Anyways, they go on to say, I'm flying through these because we'll end up talking a little bit more as we get to the juicier ones. But um this I wanted to highlight because this is not the first time and the only time. I mean, this is the first time in this interview, but not the only time that she keeps answering like the best day on set, the best scene, the best time on this movie, etc. is all around food. And I wonder what this thing with food is. Um, Again, I think in a vacuum, okay, maybe that's her sense of humor. Maybe she does love food that much. And she, also in such a heavy movie, maybe she tries to disconnect as the scene is over in between scenes to like ground herself in reality and like, okay, I'm safe, I'm good. Like, this is not my whatever my character is experiencing is not happening to me. So fair enough. Okay. But again, as we go on, she keeps talking about this food stuff. And what we've seen in other interviews, she avoids any deep reflection on her character. So, yeah. This other one is really interesting. If you catch her ownership of this movie in this clip.
It was
That's, I guess, my fault. I didn't listen to it before
but
they
it's supposed to
published
be
it.
Alyssa.
It's Alyssa.
Yeah,
It's with an
it's
A.
Alyssa.
Okay. Phew.
Good to know. Now we know. It's cleared
I thought
up.
I was gonna have to
So let's-
CGI her name too.
Wow, I can't believe these are so short right now. They get longer. I mean, again, this is so like minuscule, but she says that she thought she was going to have to CGI the sister's name from Alyssa to Elisa or whatever the audiobook is saying. That is incorrect. Um, so that was a tell. That was like, okay. Um, there's like bigger ones too, but I think it just seeing all of these adding up, especially these moments where it slips and she's not really thinking too much about what she's about to say. She's just it slips out. I don't know. I think it's telling and it's interesting to see. So then there's this other this is um this is a Colleen interesting moment.
Oh
Are eggs good for dogs? Sorry.
no. Raw egg.
The question was, I don't actually know the question. I should have just let it play.
Can you kind of explain to Blake that decision?
Yeah, so we wanted something that would appeal to seniors.
Okay, this is about the aging up of the characters, and this is Colleen's response. Keep in mind her email to Justin when he was asking her, "Hey, can I buy the rights to your book?" Keep that in mind as you're watching this. Keep that in mind.
Citizens, so we chose Blake.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, honestly, the director was
Wow.
really passionate about playing Ryle in the movie, and so when you have someone who's older who's the lead, of course we're going to also age up. We didn't want a 23-year-old lead actress, but yeah.
So I actually, in the meantime, I did go to that exact part in it's on page 13 in the lawsuit where she says, she's like, "Hey, what's your name? Hey, Ryan, whatever. Thank you so much for the email. I wasn't expecting you to read it so quickly." And then, she goes on and on about having watched it. April 12th, 2019, 9:52 a.m. Not that it makes a difference the time right now. Have you given any thought to whether you would want an acting role in this? Say maybe Ryle. I could see it. Now, she doesn't say, "Oh my gosh, you would be amazing in it," and all that stuff. That would be something that Blake Lively would do, just like butter him up. She just says it, but she says it. She doesn't say, "Have you given any thought, um, again," or whatever that people say. She brings this up. She brings this up to him. And in this video, she just said that, first of all, not Justin the director, no, just the director was really passionate about playing Ryle. So she throws him under the bus so much. I don't think that's like cool. The other part of that video, of
I was
that
like, it
moment,
was right.
I want to also kind of go 17 minutes, 17:58 is what I marked down. Just watch Blake's demeanor change as well in this. And I'm sorry about like all the other stuff. Goes from like the whole, pretty much almost the whole video, she's laughing, twirling her hair, playing with her hair, moving her legs, like swinging. That's like her regular mannerism. And then right now when Colleen's talking about him, her face is like quite serious, her body language changes, she's like kind of shifting a little bit with her legs, but she's very serious. And watch, because you know that guy who, I love him, I forget the name, but who analyzes body language, and but he's, like, doing it correctly, not like, "Oh, you can tell this and you can tell that," you know, made up stuff. She starts blinking really fast, and that's not a normal fast blink for Blake. And this could go either way. This could go for either camp. You can take this pro Blake, like, see, she had such a traumatic experience on the film and she's just really nervous or etc. You can go in the other direction either way. Something is there though. That's all I have to say about that. Something is there. But the way that Colleen just answered that question, and it makes sense when we'll see another clip later when she talks about the last few weeks. It makes sense. The other note I had throughout this interview, or throughout this panel, I guess, Blake Lively, to anyone who actually will sit down and watch the whole thing, sounds a lot like Anna Kendrick. I wonder if they were filming Simple Favor around this time, or if that's what she went to film in the March, April timeline in Italy. But their comebacks, and because she jokes and she's sarcastic and she makes this stuff, but the way specifically that she sounds to me sounds very much more Anna than Blake has ever sounded in interviews. That is nothing, neither here nor there. It was just, I don't know, I picked up on that and maybe I picked up on it wrong. I don't know. So then we go into, let's talk about the guys, the interviewer says. And let's talk about the guys.
Oh, that's so hard. They both did so good
they're so
in
good
their
in this movie.
roles. Yeah. When Justin said he wanted to play Ryle, I was on
Again,
board for that. I thought that he kind of was what I envisioned when I wrote the book. And then Atlas, we kind of went through several different options, and it wasn't until Brandon was chosen that I was like, oh, he's, yeah, definitely Atlas.
Okay, I'm leaving.
and this is where she brings out Brendan. So this was all like a whole thing, kept talking about Atlas, etc. I agree. I think Brandon Sklenar was an amazing Atlas, was amazing in the role that he was playing. He was very calming, soothing, very different character from Ryle, and the two actors are incredibly different from each other the way that they portrayed this. So yeah. But again, just like the distancing language, um all right. So now the last few bits. These are like the big ones. This one is Okay. This is this one is an interesting one with Blake. So the guy asks, and I'll guess I'll let him ask the question, but basically asks Brandon and or Blake kind of the most challenging scenes or so.
Blake, which scene was the hardest to film or experience while filming, or any scene that stayed with you? This is from Maria.
The couch? That sounds so daunting.
It was the couch. No, the
I was actually on set
floors?
that day.
I don't know.
So,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Maybe.
The what? Yeah, I mean, our thing it was actually interesting because our director also plays my other love interest, and so I think when we were in scenes together, he was like, "Whoa, you seem like you're in love with him." I'm like, "Yeah, it's Atlas." Like, yeah. He's like, but you seem like you're in love with him, but you love Ryle. And I was like, no, I also love Ryle, but like I really love Atlas. He's like, but you love Ryle. And I was like, wait, I'm sorry. Wait, what's happening? But you love Ryle. And I'm like, no, I do, but like she's conflicted.
Totally.
And so that was always an interesting dynamic when you have somebody who's playing the character also being the one like looking at the movie. So we were always like, are we too connected? Are we too vibing?
Yeah.
But she loves Ryle. He's the best. I mean, she loves Atlas. She also loves Ryle. She loves Atlas and young Lily. They're
First
so.
love.
Oh my
So
God.
cute.
So this one I think goes really well with I don't know, for us as the public at least, it goes really well with Justin's lawsuit. Well, it goes well in terms of I don't know. I feel like we'll never see kind of these moments per se, but she's basically trying to paint him as unprofessional in this. I don't know. It's this like very subtle way of making him seem jealous, right? That she's really her character, or she as her character or whatever, is into this other actor and his character more than it's him, because she keeps saying when we're in the scenes, her and Atlas, our director, again, she's acted with this guy, with Justin, for so many months. She's collaborated. She's had him in her penthouse. They've worked late hours. She's had her children, with him. She has texted, voice noted, all this stuff. So for her to say our director using that kind of distancing language is huge. And in this space, especially in this little moment, in this way that she answers it, it's like distancing language, our director, and then trying to paint him as jealous of her and Brendan Sklenar, and of, that, oh my gosh, she was so in love with her. And I hate saying it that way because, it's not, I don't know, I just hate when people say it that way, but it's just like screaming that. It's just so odd. On June 14th, I think, she had finished her first cut, I think. She was working on her second cut, or I don't know, of her edit. And she's talking about how, this director that, she has basically so little connection with, is unprofessional on set. Because she doesn't say it in a way that's like joking. She says it quite as if um Justin was that kind of jealous or geeky or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, and it's interesting to know, again, for the jury or for the lawsuit, the trial, the court date. Sorry, sometimes I say words until I find them. For the court dates, it's interesting. I wonder if they will use this video as a way to get Colleen on the stand, because for that specific scene, I think that scene might have been in the lawsuit. I don't remember. Or maybe it was just roped into like the general aspect of it. But Colleen said that she was on set that day, and how many times she was on set. She could be an interesting um witness to either side. It would be really interesting to hear her story. I don't know. Okay. So this is a little kind of slightly different. Like I was talking about how like kind of objectifying Brendan
Them in
and
this movie, like they're
stuff.
so amazing together, and you just like love them. So yeah, that was always tricky for me because I was like, who do I love?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Same.
What did you feel?
Period. Imagined or even better.
Book, and I don't think this is a spoiler that we're putting from something from the book in the movie, but it's in the flower shop when Atlas goes to see Lily, and then when he's about to walk out, Lily apologizes for what Ralph said, and Atlas goes, "I know, I was there."
Wait, how do you say it? What was the line?
Yeah,
Just one more time.
could you do that?
I beg him to do lines from the movie so I can like film the lines and send them to my friends who love it. He does this one line that is mine and Colleen's favorite. Go on,
Favorite.
Colleen.
and
You want
one
to tell
of-
him? Sorry,
Yeah.
Brandon. We've put you in the middle of
Do
us.
it, do
so
it,
we-
do it.
We're gonna put you on the spot, but it's a restaurant scene where Atlas walks up to the table and is just making chit.
This is not from the book. This is just like
Yeah.
Brandon being Brandon.
completely ad libbed, but
He's asking
You do it
everyone. He's like,
better.
"Oh, what'd you get? Like, what appetizers do you like? Like, just like benign, innocuous question. What appetizers you get? What did you like?" And then he looks at me and goes, "What about you? What do you like?" It's crazy.
With his deep voice.
So I have all these straight men who every time he does it, they scream. And then they're like, they always say to me, "What about you? What do you like?"
Oh my god!
So I
It's-
think
There's a lot on that one. I'm in a weird space right now. I just did like a 3 hour live earlier, so my energy is all over the place, and my mind is a little scattered. But there's a lot in there that people can take and pick apart. Um, doesn't it seem quite uncomfortable that I don't know if objectifying Brendan is the word, but it's interesting to me how different it is when Brandon ad libs, improvises a line, and it can be very intrusive. Of course, it's not physical, like on her skin or whatever, although that could have been it. We don't know because she didn't say one way or another with him. But it's interesting when it's someone that you like, that's okay. When it's someone you don't like, that's not okay. Or whatever happened with Justin and her. Um for anyone who was, oh, she had a crush on Justin, I thought about this a few weeks ago. I'm like, did she or did she have a crush on Brendan? Because the way that she talks about Brendan and the way that she's comfortable around him and the way that um she like is just kind of flirty with him. Yes, it is promotional. But to me, if I would call a crush on anyone, it would be more so on her crushing on Brandon rather than on Justin. But yeah, I played that scene mostly because of just this like attention, and it goes throughout this whole thing. And yes, that's okay relatively. It's a panel. It's about, it is about Atlas in a way as being like the good guy, the good protagonist, side excuse me, side protagonist. um but again, in the context, it sits a little differently. And then there's another moment where Blake's when Colleen talks about how collaborative Blake has been. I'll share that one.
the best version it could be.
and that's all thanks to Blake. Like, you've been so collaborative. Like, I just can't even explain to you what the last few weeks have meant to me. I'm, going to be nice right now, but then I'll go back to being, myself. But honestly, as an author,
Anyways, I know I don't know, I haven't seen this much where it's like little tiny clip or go go go. But yeah, again, what has happened up to these past weeks? This happened up to these past weeks, or this was referring to. On June 2nd, 2024, this was the video was June 14th. On June 2nd, once again, Wayfair found itself with no choice but to allow Lively to continue her edit effectively, sidelined to sharing notes with Lively and her editor without any assurance that those notes would ever be considered, blah, blah, blah. Blake was editing, and we know from a different interview, the one with the intimacy coordinator question that is quite famous now online. We know from that interview that I sound like a reporter right now. Weird. Not what I mean. But we know from that interview that she says that Colleen was very much present in the editing bay with her and in that process. And this is what they were alluding to. And they were complimenting each other on how great they were and how great they collaborated. And again, for Colleen to say Blake's been so collaborative in this, not the guy who was collaborative, trying to tell the story in the best way, the director, put his production studio in this, not the main guy. And okay, let's say maybe he wasn't collaborative. Maybe he was like promising that to Colleen, but maybe he got like engulfed and or just selfishly just did not collaborate as much with Colleen. I don't think he even had the opportunity though, because Blake took all of that. By the time he would have gotten Colleen's input in the edit, like Blake had already gone with the editing, you know? But also, like, I wonder, was he really not collaborative? Why are they not mentioning him? I do, and I think we are all so curious what happened, what was said, what was done, what was seen, what happened, what was the tipping point for Colleen, for the rest of the cast, for maybe other crew members to not talk about Justin as if he's like Voldemort, right? Is that the guy's name from Harry Potter? Because that's what it feels like. Our director, the director, Colleen does mention Justin by name once, and she's worked with him. Well, she's worked with him maybe throughout the years longer, but I feel like less intimately, less collaboratively, less, I don't know, closely as Blake. But yeah, people would say, well, that's because of the SH, those people that are pro Blake and believe that's what really happened. We don't know. I'm still kind of open, but it's like 1% open to that based on everything that we've seen. That kind of door pretty much closed. It's not locked, but it's closed to me after Saturday's amendment. But yeah, she also says a little later, sorry, I cut off a little too quick there, but she also mentions that Blake fought for her voice, Colleen, to be heard. And then again, you can view this in different ways. You can, from Blake's pro side, you can say, oh, wow, Justin did not care what Colleen said. He failed on his promise to make Colleen, a huge part of this, or wasn't really interested in women's voices, or all that stuff. You can also say, did Blake fight for her voice, or did Blake make that appearance of fighting for her voice? Sometimes people can fight for something by being the loudest voice around that, but someone else might actually care deeply and might have said the same things, but more quietly. But this person comes in and just like takes the whole center stage loud and professes something. I've been like, I guess maybe I'm speaking from experience as far as that, because I've often had that experience where someone else comes in a lot more extroverted or whatever, and I always feel like I need to be as correct as possible when I say something, and some people don't care and they just want to be loud and just speak. So I have kind of this vision of that. But yeah, did Blake, considering what we've read so far, was Blake really making sure that Colleen's voice was heard, or was she making it look that way to Colleen? Like, look what I did for you, not like that clear, but like in a way where it wasn't as obvious but charming. Like, I got you, like, come in and edit with me, do this, do that. Like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Um, and yeah, just very charismatically, very affectionately, um, doing that. Or maybe she just kind of took credit where it wasn't hers to take. That's also possible. Or maybe indeed she did fight for Colleen's voice. It's not looking great in the big scheme of things. Throughout this, Brandon, the same question, most exciting or scariest part of the process, Brandon's answer was just kind of sarcastic humor, which, is cool, whatever. But saying that the not having seen the movie yet is the scariest for him, and then the most exciting was meeting Blake as a Gossip Girl fan. And I don't know if that was like real or not. They go into how he's Serena Vanderwoodson every year for Halloween. I can't tell if that's real or not. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really apply to this. If anything, like we don't even know if he was a Gossip Girl fan, which might maybe help him lean towards Blake more, or he was just saying that because that's what you do, as an actor and as a not co-actor. Wow. Um, the word escapes me. um, Not collaborator, like actors that work side by side. That's what you say about people. She's really the only one that's not been like that. She talks more about herself or like the clothes, food in this one. The aesthetics of the character, I don't know. Sometimes she talks about the people. Um and yeah, but everyone like butters each other up in Hollywood. Fine, whatever. He didn't have any particularly interesting or like woo kind of answer is what I'm trying to say. And then this is her response to that same question. Word salad. Yeah. 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 She's a little bit more on answer on this, more, sticking to the answer to the question. But yeah, oftentimes she's like, wait, let me talk until I find the answer. Let me go here, let me go there and deflect over here and deflect. And I answered your question, right? Where you're like, wait, what was the question? Oh, we were talking about jeans, but the question was like, what was your, the worst scene of this movie for you or whatever. She looked annoyed that questions about Baldoni were asked. It's all about her. Yeah, you can look at it that way, but again, if she feels entitled to be hurt or annoyed because this person maybe to her in her mind is a bad guy, that is also a way that this could be seen on. Or yeah, that has happened to me on Hell, sorry. Or because, she I don't know, she definitely does not like him. That is just obvious. It's obvious in that scene. It's obvious throughout. Like she has something against him, whether that's because of feeling the SH, although so little, less and less evidence of that as we see just how much control she like took over as if he was invisible or like nothing, they're gushing on her to the extreme. She's not funny. Yeah, I mean, but that was her charm. That's how like people kind of have seen her and she comes across and all that stuff. Um I think these promotions for the movie didn't get the attention if it would have if Baldoni was there. Waste of a good franchise. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And the thing is interesting too because he would have let most of them talk. What I've seen from him on panels, like Jane the Virgin panels, he doesn't take up that much space. Like verbally, he just answers his questions and just truly lets everyone else have their platform. Where she cuts people off, but she's just a different person, and that's not necessarily bad. But yeah, hitting someone because they are authentic and you're not is probably why. Yeah, a little jealousy, a little different type of jealousy. Okay, so I think one what question was this? Oh, the most exciting and scariest part of the process.
To do that in a movie people will actually see, like,
Oh,
this
I love it.
um Yeah, so she talks, I think she again talks about food, or I don't know, they talk about Whataburger at one point. She doesn't understand what they're saying, et cetera, et cetera. This is a big one for me. And I have a list. I have a list because this she saw, I think she said the same exact thing pretty much in this interview with I have to look up the interview as it's happen as I'm playing this. Or not the interview, the movie. But she says the exact same thing. I'll just let this play.
Most exciting part, honestly, just like bringing this movie to life, because it was such a emotionally rewarding film, and I just like I'm so proud of it, and to do that in a movie people actually see. Like if you get like a great female character, it's usually like a movie no one's ever going to see, and then if it's a movie people are going to see, you're just like supposed to stand there and look cute and like be the accessory to the man. And so like to do that, with this, I mean, that's speaks to Colleen being able to tell a story that is quite big and quite commercial, but is still really grounded in human emotion. And then the scariest part, honestly, I think it was the first time I didn't feel scared. And I don't know why, maybe because I just had a kid like 3 months before and I was like, oh God, what am I doing? So I had like enough like other stuff to worry about that it was just like, okay, we'll just go make a movie.
Like, yeah, I got a job to do, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts on that one. She takes up all the space. It's annoying. Yeah, she takes up a lot of space. A lot of space. Um, but she's an actress, and some actors are shy, introverted, don't like attention. Ironically, they just love acting. They love acting for whatever reason, and they don't take up space. Some don't take up space because they're just more considerate and just aware. Okay, like I need to have other people have, voices, and they're just awakened, woke, whatever. And some people take up space because they are actors, and either they're just super extroverted, they have a lot to say. Some people are lonely. I tend to be on the lonely side where when I meet up with my boyfriend or anyone, I'm like just talking all the time. Like, okay, let me say stuff that I've not been able to say to anyone, or maybe I've like texted with him or with my friend or something, but like it's not the same. And some people take up space because all it's just about them. It's their show. It's them, them, them. So there's like different parts, but yeah, she does take a lot of space, and she definitely loves the attention, which she also said about the choir. Anyways, I want to say I'll start with the scared part. Maybe she's not scared because she took over the whole movie. I think that's why she wasn't scared. I think she came in, maybe she was scared. Maybe she did feel like, "Oh crap, what am I doing?" And maybe that's why she took over the whole movie so she wouldn't be scared and if she's under control or whatever. Or maybe she just like was it fit in her timeline with taking over a movie and producing and all that stuff. Or maybe she connected to the idea of what she thought the movie was about, or to the idea of the movie, but she just didn't know how to execute it, didn't really want to do the research for it, etc. But I kind of feel like, yeah, maybe it was having the baby and having all those other things. She had strep like 3, 4, 5 times, I think, in that first 6 months of the first year. And she had also COVID at one point, so she claims. And I do find it odd that there was no like test, like here, this is positive or whatever. And maybe she indeed was not as scared because she had so much more to deal with, but she also took over the whole movie. So of course she wouldn't be scared. Would you be scared if you were the producer and you had complete control over it? No. Also interesting. This wouldn't be the answer to this question. Like, oh well, I had inappropriate stuff happen to me. That's why I was scared. That wouldn't be the timing. So she would have never said that. No one would have said that on this. But she could have said, it was a big role to fill, or it was just a tough shoot, a tough process, or whatever. But anyways, but back to P, I can't give her grace. I'm sorry. I feel the same way about Ryan. Yeah, I'm not saying that I give her grace. Maybe I am. I don't know. I just yeah, sorry. I don't ignore that voice in my head when it sees like the opposite side or whatever. And yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. Nothing justifies what she did. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to justify it. It's just wrong. Her taking over the movie, like I said, even if the SH allegations are true, what she did is still wrong. not justifying at all. Um, okay, anyway, so this is a big one. Let's talk about strong female, complex female characters. Because apparently, according to her, th- they don't exist. This was, such a rare occasion for a female character to like happen on screen, where it's like this complex character, not like an accessory to the man. All I See Is You is the movie that she promoted, where I am pretty sure that's the interview where was it the interview where it was about singing too? Maybe that was a different one. But it was one of these two interviews, maybe one and the same, where she talks exactly about the same thing. It's like the broken record. The broken record, which okay, sometimes it's given, right? Because it's your mission and you're going to keep playing that broken record over and over again because you feel that passionately, that strongly about. But I also feel like sometimes that changes. If that's your true like passion and your true calling, your true meaning, your true um cause, I feel like that changes in how you speak about it, right? For her, it sounds exactly the same. It's just like cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste about feminism. And this thing with strong female characters, write in the chat, write in the comments if this is on replay. If I don't mention strong female characters and I'm trying to go into like, because she mentions big on screen box office movies, right? Movies that people will see, like most people, if not all people, will see. That's the movies that she's referencing, not the obscure movies. Fair enough. But let's say the first one that popped into my mind was Angelina Jolie in Magnificent. I thought that was an interesting character. I thought that was a complex. I think that's a very complex female character and a strong, great female character. Angelina Jolie, but this was after this movie, so whatever. Okay, we'll give it to her. But Angelina Jolie and Maria, that's a big one. In Tomb Raider, actually, this is someone people might disagree with me, but I was watching, wow, weeks ago, like in December, I think I was watching this behind the scenes documentary of Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie, Lara Croft. Used to play that game, love that game, and they were talking about how the same thing, like often you don't get to play complex characters, female, blah blah blah, and she brought that. But you could argue that maybe wasn't translated into movies. She also played in Girl Interrupted, and that was, I remember, a pretty huge movie. Okay, Daisy Ridley, Rey in Star Wars. Letitia Wright, Shuri in Black Panther. Danai Gurira Okoye in Black Panther. Lupita Nyong'o as Patsy. Well, as Patsy in 12 Years a Slave. She was also in Black Panther, but I remember like in 12 Years a Slave, that was a pretty huge movie. Did it win the Oscars? Or did she win the Oscar for that? Or was it Golden Globes or something? And that's a definitely a complex, great female character. Charlize Theron had a bunch. The one that came up was Furiosa in Mad Max. I haven't seen that, so I'll take internet's word for that one. Scarlett Johansson. I included this because I did think about her, but I haven't really seen the Avengers and stuff. But in the Black Widow movie, Scarlett Johansson, Michelle Yeoh as the Black Widow, Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once, Evelyn Wang. Haven't seen that movie. That is so top of my list, and I haven't seen it. Zoe Saldana as Neytiri in Avatar. You can say, well, she is kind of CGI, but it's her and her emotions, like her face and her acting and everything. And Zoe has done, quite a few characters like that, but not as big as Avatar. Avatar is huge. Jennifer Lawrence, Katniss Everdeen in that trilogy. What is it? Hunger Games, right? Emily Blunt in Edge of Tomorrow, Quiet Place, Girl on the Train, Jessica Chastain. I don't know. I forget what movie I put this for, but yeah. Rosamund Parks as Amy Dune or Dunn in Gone Girl, Margot Robbie as Birds of Prey and the Squad movie, and I Tanya, and even the big one, Barbie. Barbie was a very complex, strong female character. It had a very like pretty outside, but it was actually very complex. And Margot Robbie was a very good actress, and she played the nuances so well through that. But I feel even though I haven't seen Birds of Prey or that, a Squad, I would imagine that was a pretty strong female character and complex one. I mean, it looks quite complex. Nicole Kidman, so many. Stepford Wives, The Hours, and Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge is one of my favorite movies. Um, Raise your hand, put a red circle, whatever, if it's yours too. Um, People hated that movie when it came out, gave them nausea, blah blah. I don't know. Maybe watching it now in theaters as an older person might also feel that way, but I loved it as a kid. As a like, I think I was in high school. I don't remember. Um, but oh gosh, what was her name? I forget her character's name. Not Seraphine. Oh gosh. I don't know. But she that was a strong complex character. And that was a pretty big movie too. Um but yeah, there's so many others. So many others. Lupita won the Oscar. Awesome. Um Tevi. Yeah, Maleficent. I didn't know about this character until that movie. So that's also why. Did you, Tevi? Um Okay, sorry. Oh, Lioness. Was Lioness a big movie? I have been kind of under a rock with movies as far as like what's big, big. So I was trying to pick out movies that if I heard of them, they must have been huge kind of thing. But yeah, Moulin Rouge. Um, yeah. Okay, so Tevi, fake Lively has committed the unforgivable by falsely accusing Baldoni of SH. Blake and Ryan trying to steal the movie is like icing on the cake as far as what makes this case so interesting. I would say is the main cake, Tevi. I would say it's absolutely the main cake. And the SH allegations and that fight, I think, is the icing, although I hate saying it in that sense, combining those two um ideas, concepts, but because that I feel like is more surface level and maybe faster proven or not, or I don't know, faster, but not as you know as deep into every part of this movie and every part of the industry as what she did by taking over this movie, and what we may not even have discovered yet, uncovered yet, about the why to that. um yeah. So yeah, but again, if you're on the replay, type in your strong character, female complex strong character. There's so, excuse me, so many, albeit not very, very many, and there's still a lot of work to do around that. But there's just like so much. And for her to say that again, it's just like going on repeat, broken record. And just because she's not getting these characters doesn't mean they don't exist. Anna Kendrick has gotten characters like that. Like in Simple Favor, I feel like she had a pretty complex character. Um, and yeah, I don't know. Anyways, uh oh, Tevi, yeah. I don't, yeah, we'll see, but that's kind of my perception on it. There's just so much when it comes to this, like taking over the movie part. This other world, it's like, the worms in the can. The SH complaint was kind of opening up the can. It was there. It was like the rust on the can, whatever, and then the worms are what she opened in Pandora's box potentially. So that one was like my biggest like, wow, Blake, come on. How are you also supporting women by not mentioning these amazing actresses and these amazing roles that they've gotten? And there's so many more. There's so many more actresses that have roles out there that I just couldn't think. I was like trying, I was literally 5 minutes away from 8 o'clock, and I was trying to like think of all of these and Google, and remember and pick out, and then I would see a movie with someone else, like, oh yeah, about her, I remember she played in this. So yeah. And then around minute 39 as well, she talks about how this also cut and paste from her previous interview, whichever one that was, how, all the time, men, again, feminism is not about villainizing men, and that's her type of feminism approach, I guess. But yeah, men just often, or all the time, want to make female characters likable. I'm like, this was what you were saying like 7 years ago, 2019, 16, 17, I forget. I think we've come somewhat a little further from that, Blake. And maybe people want you to be likable, but I doubt Justin Baldoni's notes to her was she needs to be more likable. Maybe in certain scenes or whatever, or gotta make sure she's likable. Sorry. um and yeah, the fact that she said this exact same thing in the past interview, and potentially more interviews, it's like her spiel. It's like the notes, the bullet points, kind of like with the gin commercial that was really, an interview for her movie A Simple Favor, and she made it into a gin commercial, and she had the bullet points like, this is how it's made, and and she kind of created the whole story around those bullet points. That's what this sounds like. She just has to like say those things to make herself likable, to sell her brand of feminism, to sell her brand of whatever. um yeah. So she talks about how it was important for her to see women who like Lily, to see in Lily women who are not damsels, who then find their voice, but they have a voice, and then they get lost, or they get taken advantage of, or whatever. And it's fair enough. That does happen. That is true. That happens, and so forth. But this whole likable thing, I don't think that was the case with this. Or I don't even know what to say. I don't know. It's just I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Um and she also says around that same one, kind of answering of the question, how she talks about objectifying like Brandon or something. We don't want to objectify him, but she wanted to say something nice about him or whatever again. And she says we can't reverse the roles. And it's like, but that's what you've been doing this whole time. So, all right. And then there's this other one. Oh, this one's a toughy one. Hi, Rabia. Your life popped up when I was watching pros for Enough 20. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a strong movie for Jennifer Lopez. That was an example Blake could have utilized. Yeah. And Jennifer Lopez even now, Mother, right? She did that. I haven't seen it. And think what you want about Jennifer Lopez, but she's Hustlers, was that the movie where she was right? Like Dominator or whatever. And that one was a complex one. I don't know that I would say she did the best job. I think Enough was a little better. But she spent so much, she did so much work. Jennifer Lopez does a lot of work for her movies. Can't really say the same about Blake. But okay, let's watch this clip, because this one hurts. Again, keep in mind nice pool on this one. Keep in mind nice pool.
See it and see how well you did.
No, but like the heart and soul and depth of character he brings to this, like he's so
Brandon.
safe. And I think what's so important about Atlas is that like what Brandon really brought to Atlas is that like he's so like patient and supportive of Lily. And it's like, what we think of as like feminism or whatever. He's not out there like, wearing like, a, can we say this word? The hat, the P hat, PU, the hats, the kitty cat hats, the pink hats. I'm not gonna say it out loud. But anyway, he's like, that's not what being a feminist is. It's like, making sure that like he's there and supports her and her journey, and he doesn't remove agency from her. Like he's just like strong and sturdy, and like the love that he gets her, that he's like a mirror to her. He's like, this is who you are. Like he reminds her of who she is. He reminds her of her value and that she's got this. And like he's just like what he brings to this character is so beautiful. He's such an incredible actor. Yeah, so I'm really excited.
Crazy.
How about how Justin does this every single day when he's on his podcast, when he's speaking about women, about the women in his life, about his wife, and the conversations and interviews him and his wife have together, talking so many times about these things, how he's showing up that way in action, in life, period. She probably hasn't seen that part. Maybe that's all news to her. Maybe I mean, she didn't do her homework on her character, probably much less on him. She probably didn't even care. She just thought, I can take this guy no matter who he is, because I haven't even heard about him. But she probably just did enough research maybe to know how to get him. Maybe she did. My opinion, honestly, my complete opinion, thought, whatever, is that she didn't even know that, besides that he is a supposedly self-proclaimed feminist or whatever. I don't think she watched one podcast of his, or even maybe the TEDx talk, I don't know. But anything besides that, I don't think she watched. I don't think she has any idea what Justin Baldoni is about, or she didn't care. But like, what about the real men? And I'm not saying Brendan isn't. He might be. Um, but what about like the real men? She again probably wouldn't have answered that, especially given the context that basically she hates him. Like she has such strong feelings against Justin. But even if she didn't, she might have not mentioned it, unless they were in a normal situation where Justin was on the panel and she would say, like, Justin is so amazing at that in person, in real life, etc. I didn't know about this hat story. But yeah, it's a protest against vulgar comments Donald Trump, or President Donald Trump now, made about the freedom he felt to grab women. Okay. Well, I don't think Justin ever wore one of those, but the way that she talked about feminism, you know, I think, yeah, by now they already had done the nice pool thing and everything. Oh gosh, what this idea of performative feminism? It's like, what is one person's performative feminism is another person's just um alliance and speech. You know, it can be. I mean, it goes both ways, I agree, but, I thought that felt like a little dig, but maybe I'm taking it a little too far. Um, yeah. There are 2 seasons of what, P? Of enough? Um, I don't okay. Her PR people knew. I don't know. I don't know. They don't know too much. They're doing a pretty terrible job overall. Her PR, her lawyers, or the combination. Who knows? Yeah, the cliff notes, basically. Yeah. This is, maybe a lesson too. Like, do your homework. Do your homework for acting, but also do your homework. If you want to take someone down, do your homework. Like, know who you're going up against, know their weaknesses, whatever. She didn't even do a good job with that. She knew like the cliff notes of that. But I don't think she did not that she needed to. We don't need people to like bring people down and do that, but I'm just saying, as far as that kind of idea. Yeah, I will make a point of watching it soon. Thanks for the heads up. Wait, what season 2 of what? I wanna know. Oh, Lioness. Oh, okay. Sorry. Um, yeah. Where am I? What am I? Blake didn't even bother reading the source material for the movie. Yeah, which was Hoover's book. It's no wonder she wanted to rewrite the scenes. I wonder, like, seriously, how charming a person can be that the author who talks strongly about the book being so important to her, the relationship of the book with her own mom, and how important this is to her, this project, etc. How it just like glossed over her, that this person, this actress who, you know, is charming her into being like, I'm your on your side, and I'm like amplifying your voice, and I'm making sure your voice is heard and all this stuff, didn't read the book. But maybe by this time, maybe by the time, through production at one point, maybe she had read the book. Uh, doesn't mean she understood it. I think those two can be separate. We don't for sure know, and we have absolutely no way of her knowing ever if she read the book or not, unless we give her a quiz or something at that time. By now, maybe she read it. Maybe she's reading it now. Um, okay. I was interested in seeing what her promo was like in 2002 compared to, um, yeah, her promo for what? Rabia. So, sorry, I'm being nosy. I'm just like curious. I want to like I was doing videos for a long time. In 2017, 2016, I was doing vlogs, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I still kind of felt that way until I found this, which combined so many of my passions and things that I'm so strongly passionate and about, like causes and things, and it all kind of came together, and the community around it. So I never thought of doing a live. And I always complained in my vlogs like, oh, this sucks because I can't have a conversation with people. So that's why I'm sorry, I'm like just like being nosy in the chat with you guys. Um feeling like left out. JLo's promo for Enough versus okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, that would be cool. I'll do my homework on that. And maybe mention that. Um, okay. This is the final piece. Here we go. I'm not going to play or maybe I guess this is kind of no, it's minute 48 is what they reference in the lawsuit. So I'm gonna stop before that. But this part before that, I thought was like there's so many questions. So let me play this. Well, not that many questions. I had already.
At least an hour, right?
An hour? No, it's 2 hours. 2
Oh,
hours,
right,
and
right,
3
yeah.
I
minutes.
don't know if I
Um,
can stay up that late.
Yeah. The movie's not done though. Like the movie's not done. It still has the old hollow heart. We've got score in the movie, and we showed it to like a small audience, and I was like, oh, they'll never know. Like you do like temporary score until like the movie's complete. And I was like, oh, put Finding Nemo like it's like a wink Easter egg. Nobody will know what it is. The first person raised their hand. They're like, why do you have a Finding Nemo score in this movie? It's like, how on earth are you guys that keen? So yeah, it's not the movie's not done yet. I mean, it comes out in 2 months, but it's not done.
So what you're saying is like an arc of a book. If if they got to see the whole thing early, it wouldn't be like what they'll see in theaters.
No, what they'll see in theaters will be different.
Yeah.
Which is like not like vastly different.
I mean, we could show the whole movie tomorrow
Right?
night.
I think it's a good idea.
I mean,
Do you guys want to see the whole movie?
yes.
Or 20 minutes?
Brandon probably
No,
does.
nobody cheered for
I
20
think
minutes.
I kind of want to see the
we'll
whole
show you guys
movie.
the whole movie then.
Yeah.
Hello.
Um, and there's another piece later on, but these commercials, which yeah, this is a sad commercial. It's still a commercial. Um, talking about how they rented an entire theater. People were saying, well, Sony then must have been, in that, but also Sony had given them like a reluctant okay to show 20 minutes, which also they could have screened it there, but whatever, screened it in that kind of setting. But yeah, the score, the Finding Nemo score, they had already a score with an orchestra that they threw out. Why didn't she use that? I mean, that sounds just like incredibly petty. It sounds like nonsensical just to like gain control and just have her mark even for a screening with her close friends or whoever she screened it to. Why would you add Finding Nemo score? Again, in your mind, also the gymnastics for such a movie to put that score. And I don't know. I know that movie can have its sad moments, but it just seems like she's very detached from reality, right? Like, Donna mentioned this earlier too in a different way, as far as like, if the judge says no, like, okay, Justin wins, and that's it. And Donna was thinking like she'll probably like say thank you and be grateful for that, even though she lost. And it's like, no, yeah, I appreciate that. Like, I won. I don't know. Like, that's kind of satirical. That's a little too far, but she definitely feels like detached from, what normally you would think as far as appropriateness for things. So yeah, those were my clips. It was a lot. It was a 50-minute video that just, it started off a little soft. It had like little soft moments, and then there were like a couple of like whoa moments for me personally, at least. Yeah, my little parakeet, and she's been really understanding. She's learned once I'm doing this, she's generally just really quiet. Otherwise, in the past, or if I like am video chatting, like she's on the phone, she's like, "What? Who is this? Who are we talking to? I want to talk to." Um, but yeah, um, yeah. So I'm gonna do my homework now on J Lo and her promotion of things, because people have compared Lake to J-Lo, or like the downfall or whatever. And J-Lo, definitely, Jennifer Lopez, has had her bad press, and I would give her, unless we find something out like this, I would give her a lot of grace, because it is tough. And to be bossy versus a boss, it is a genderized thing. And it is tough when she especially was coming into the business in the like early 1990s, and or late 1990s. And she wasn't in the industry. She wasn't born to a family in the industry. And so there was like a lot more for her to try to find her strength and her voice. And it can have that effect on people, and the fame that she had, and the people that she was surrounded by, etc. She has had her own journey, but she seems a little bit more grounded and more I don't know. But she's also older, and she has kids. Blake has kids too. I don't know. But I'm curious. I'll go do my homework on the JLo Enough promos and other of her promos, and see how seriously she takes these. But yeah, this subject is about to really blow up. You will definitely expand your audience by discussing this case daily. Oh, thank you, Tevi. I look forward to seeing you. Donna was like opened her video earlier today with this like heartfelt like gratitude moment, and I understood exactly. And I almost wish that everyone would have this opportunity as a channel, because you don't really understand really how you actually, because I always would watch people talk to their audience like, hey, so and so, and like, how do they remember, but seeing some of you guys are new here, but seeing these names like stick with you, and it's so rewarding, especially when you're like just starting out. And like Donna was saying, actually, there's 7 people watching, there's like it's just like so meaningful and so rewarding. And especially when you're talking about things that are really meaningful to you. And it really, like, I felt exactly where she was coming from. And so I was like going through that journey with her in her video earlier today. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. I don't even have like, she was talking because she has had such a huge, like, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people growth, but like still remembering the core. And I'm like, I know what you mean. Well, besides the thousands and thousands. um and it's interesting because when you least expect it, and when you least like search for it, because I started doing this not for an audience. I was doing vlogmas, I think, trying to find my audience earlier, like in the not the fall, in the winter, and that wasn't really working. And I just was lost anyways, and I was going through a really hard time. So I was trying to just be there for myself first, and also like try to find an audience. And then this came, and I was like, I just need to talk about this. I didn't think anyone was going to listen. I posted the full Justin Baldoni lawsuit. It's a 10-hour long movie or video on here. And obviously, like, I don't know, a few people watched it and probably clicked right out of it. But I posted it because I was just like blown away by this stuff. And I have not been into celebrity gossip. That's why I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, because this is so meaningful, because there's so many, it's like a kaleidoscope of things in this that are all wrapped up. And I'm working on a video, and by working on a video, I'm like, I literally just had this idea today, and I'm trying to like outline it, and either it's going to be a live or like a pre-made video, but on why this is such a complex issue, and why this like case is so much bigger than Hollywood, because to me it is. And so to be able to have like the audience that I have, whether big or small, but especially the small like core right now, and for you to like be on the same kind of ride with me through this and appreciate it, and it's like it's just awesome. And I'm so grateful, especially because again, there's so many pieces to this kaleidoscope that means so much to me, and it's like this perfect storm. And yeah, so I appreciate that, Tevi. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your comments and support throughout all of these lives. But yeah, and although I still don't think I'll ever make it that big, but thank you, I appreciate it. It's not really on my mind. It is nice to see like, the gamifying. I have like undiagnosed ADHD, so the gamifying of things, I guess, is a big one for us. So when then there's like another subscriber or like another watch hour or whatever, and you see kind of progress. I have like a growth mindset as value, like attachment style wise, and I have this like gamifying like reward system thing that, I don't know, creates dopamine or whatever. We all do, right? And that's why we like are on social media and stuff. Excuse me. So like combining those, of course, it feels good in the moment. But yeah, like I still am showing up for this no matter what. So I appreciate that. Um, Blake acts like she's the director right there on stage. Absolutely. And there's another video. Absolutely. She talks exactly like she's the director. This is her movie. She talks so much like that. It's, I mean, disturbing is a little too strong. Let's not go down that road, but like it's really like, whoa, you miss it if you don't really understand this like back behind the scenes. Like before all of this came out, I probably wouldn't have noticed it. Maybe if I would really be into watching these people. But yeah, you don't notice it until you notice it. And once you notice it in so many of these videos where she talks exactly like she was the editor. She had to CGI, or like, oh, I thought I was going to have to CGI the sister's name. The one where she talks about CGIing the hollow heart, that one wasn't as clear. I think she said like we had to CGI or whatever. But even that, we, even as a producer, but you're mainly an actor, just like Justin is mainly the director. This is how I see them, at least. Like, yes, he's Ryle, the actor for Ryle, but he's mainly the director. So when he's answering questions, generally I would expect him to talk a lot more about the director side of things, just like I would expect her to talk a lot more about the actor side, because that's her primary role, especially like, yeah, production, producer, whatever. But you were Lily, not just the primary like role as an actor, but you were the literal main character of this story. Your name, you fought to be the only name on the poster, and your face is the only face on the poster. Screw everyone else. Which I know in part, okay, it's the story of Lily. Maybe they wanted to highlight that, but in the context, again, like, you are everything as this character, and you're talking about how you created this movie. Go do movies behind the scenes. And that's one thing that out of this, she can still do behind the scenes. Maybe she should use an alias, but if no one sees who she is as the director or whatever, except the actors and the crew and whatever, she could try like an alias, or I don't know. I don't think that's how it works, but she should have done that already. She was, I think, past, especially with 4 kids and giving birth. I think in her mind, yeah, she was kind of past being an actor. She wanted to bring the story to life, or a story to life, and have it be her like project. Um, but yeah, no worries. I'd be talking to the chat too if I ever actually make a channel. Yeah, go make a channel. If anyone has a channel, sometimes I have at the end. I go and like try to see the first one I did. I tried to go to see, and then I've been so like overwhelmed after like doing these long lives that I haven't. But I'll go check all of your channels out. If you have channels, write them in the chat. Not just for me, but for anyone, all of us, to like go follow you, support you, watch you. And you don't have to, I guess, but at least give people the opportunity to. I absolutely love that. I wish, even when I'm on other people's chats, I wish I knew. There's so many people. I wish I'm like, who are the young creators, or like the green creators, the small creators that are on this chat like me, that are, they have their own unique perspective, or style or take on this. Or just the same. Sometimes I've watched the same thing over and over again from different channels, just because this topic is just so big. um but yeah, you can't but want to engage while staying on topic. Yeah. um yeah, Arnaldo. Seeing Arnaldo in what? um Interesting enough, Sony produced enough too. Well, they're big. Yeah, they're big. I wonder what they think behind the scenes, honestly. What do you guys think? Like, I feel like behind the scenes, Sony's like, that's what I was reading. I have part 4 coming up, tomorrow. I just decided to do this instead. But I wonder what Sony behind the scenes was thinking, because at one point it seemed to me super like projecting, maybe, or whatever, that they were over it. Let's just like just release this movie and let's just get past this. This is a nightmare. This is just infighting, nonsensical stuff. This is not professional, costing us money, costing everyone money. It's just like, get this out to the world and be done. That's what I think at one point Sony did. And that maybe kind of like with Justin, right? Justin was like, just have her have 98% of this. Fine. Maybe that's what Sony did too. Like, she just kind of badgered them. Say that 3 times fast. I can't. Until Sony's like, fine, okay, have your cuts, screen it for them, or don't screen, or whatever. Just fine, just take it. We'll support you, whatever. That's the thing. You don't see, you see people supporting people, but what did it take for that? Sometimes it took a lot more than just heartfelt support. She thinks she's privileged. Yeah. Yeah, the bird. She can direct and choose who can depose her. Yeah. That's millions of dollars on a hard drive. Yeah. Yeah. But she has, I think she flies private, right? Not necessarily related, but she flies like just her own plane, or do they have a plane, or just, privately? I do wonder, like, does she fly like Taylor Swift's plane? Is she like, "Hey Taylor, I'm flying to Book Bonanza. Can you rent me your plane? Can you lend me your plane?" Um, Jennifer Lopez comes across classy. Yeah, yeah, she does. Um, but a lot of people also feel like she is very rude and mean behind the scenes. And there are people like Jersey Flaws, she mentioned in one of her recent videos, like there are people who are nice to those who interview them, to the reporters, and really nasty to like the makeup artists or the people on the crew behind the scenes, or vice versa, or you know and yeah, I think Jennifer Lopez can be very tough. And I think I personally loved her video. I related to her video, her like movie video thing on Prime. This whole thing, maybe I'll do another video on Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, and well, just Jennifer Lopez in the recent time. But I think she's, done her work. It's You'll never completely, you're always a work in progress, or like largely a work in progress. But she talks about having gone to therapy and doing a lot of work on herself, and she references the inner child in that. And I thought it was like, people just got on her because she tried to make herself look more important by naming all these names that were saying no to her, and the control she had. And so maybe she is also has like narcissistic tendencies or whatever, I don't know. I've not done a deep dive into her. Maybe I should do that next too. But she keeps it at least more professional. But does she? Like, is there so much that Blake got, told because she made the wrong move? But how many people have done this too? I don't know. Again, their peers are watching these antics, their liabilities. Yeah. Yeah, they are right now. You've all seen, right? The like them trying to like pretend everything's fine, but then also not fine. Like, it's taking an emotional toll, but they're doing date night, or, signing these autographs, Ryan, and going to places, going to see what's his name? Hugh Jackman. Gosh darn it, me and that guy's name. And one thing that popped into my head, I was like, has Ryan Reynolds done a post for Blake? Like, not to compare the two as directly as I have when I I commented this on Donna's channel, but like, has Ryan said some heartfelt post about Blake, how strong she's been through this and all this stuff? I have not really seen that. And Emily Baldoni, she did that for Justin on his birthday. Fair enough. It's not Blake's birthday. It's not for a while. Valentine's Day, maybe he'll do that. He should do that. Instead, he's like showing up at these other people's events, or his event, or showing up in the world, and it's just a very different look. Like, why is he not really supporting his wife? Like, heartfelt support. Like, you know, I don't know. Maybe he has, and I just missed it. Um, I've been watching the replays. I'm so happy to catch you live. Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so happy to see a replay watcher live too, Tevi. Rabi, I've seen you around in the comments of some channels I visited. Oh, awesome. Um, I feel kind of conflicted. I feel bad at the same time as that. I always feel conflicted. I just sometimes I say like, "Oh, I did this on my channel or whatever," not to like outstage anyone, but like it's really sometimes I'm like, I have stuff to say. I have an opinion, and I just get excited about it. And now I sound like Blake. Oh gosh, no. Yeah, do not mean to go down that route. Um, but yeah, it's great to see people. It's also nice. I saw Maria. I saw, I think Maria Rodriguez. I saw you on, was it Dana's live one day or something, or channel? Maybe as a comment, and I hearted it. I'm like, hey, I know you. But yeah, so when I see you guys, it's also awesome to see you there. Yeah, I'll give her that. Um, Not sure if we've interacted before, but I remember your username. Oh, thank you. I don't remember interacting. Yeah. It's been a whirlwind for all of us, though. JLo is a better actress. She tries hard. She could be stuck up, narcissistic. I don't know. I have. This is not me. Like, oh yeah, I've seen evidence of that. I'm just saying what people have said. But she works hard at it. She works hard at it. I mean, even on her body, like she has work ethic for sure. Um, just got out of, and she's, people talk about her singing. She does pretty decent music. I like her music. Maybe she's not like, a huge powerhouse vocalist, or maybe whatever, but I don't know. To do all of that, I feel like it's a lot. So, yeah. Just got out of work, got here as fast as I could. I'm glad I didn't miss your live. It's also good to know. Let me know, what times work. I can kind of shift around times. I don't know what works best for everyone. I've been reading the lawsuit paperwork. It hit me how many people in Hollywood were probably reading it at the same time. Oh my gosh, I didn't think of that, Tevi. I didn't think of that at all. Yeah, I wonder what they're all thinking. Are they all watching this? And like and reading this? I wonder how many were like, "Oh no, I've done that. Maybe I should watch, future projects." Or like, "Oh crap, will my skeletons come out?" Or, "Who, I worked with someone like that." Or, "Oh, I worked with Blake, I remember that." Or, "Oh, I worked with Justin, and I remember that." Good or bad or whatever for both. Yeah. But I wonder, like, Blake's friends, and not so much family, I guess, but friends or people that she's worked, like, professional acquaintances. I wonder if they're reading and following, and, like, I think of Hugh Jackman and other people that might read this. Are they reading it and maybe changing their minds? I don't know. But yeah, I didn't really think about that part, in the Hollywood. Um, Also catch the replay to see what I missed. Yeah. Oh, tonight I will say, and I'm not tooting my own horn. It's not the best thing I've done or anyone has done, but it's a good one. I got very excited about today's video. Yeah. I don't know a good one, but like it's an interesting one to me. Um, I have ADHD since high school. Yeah, ADD. Yeah, I never knew, but as a child, I always struggled reading, and then it all came into place when actually because I used to edit my own short movies. I was in talking with my one therapist at one point, and I was saying, he's like, "Oh, you might have ADHD." I'm like, "No, because I do this, and I waste hours and hours editing without like going to the bathroom or drinking, or eating anything." And he's like, "Yeah, that kind of proves my point even more so, because there's this hyper focus involved." So yeah, it's interesting how many of us kind of struggled without knowing for whatever reason. Actually, Justin talked about this too. Like, I think my family probably did the same thing. Like, his family didn't really want him to be diagnosed, or maybe they did the test and they didn't tell him or something, because they didn't want him to feel different or broken, and I feel like my family's mindset on that is the same. It's like other people seeing as that, and also yourself. But I think it can give you like a starting place to have tools so you don't fail in life. Um, yeah, reading the comments. Sorry to hear that. I agree, P. She does spot a lot of word salad. So many angles to the story. Yeah, the word salad. Um, if I didn't know better, I would assume she was the lead actor director by the way she acted on stage. Yeah, absolutely. This one was definitely clear that way. In, I guess, our opinion. Um, Yes, it's fascinating to me. I don't know. Also, is it too much that I'm actually reading? It helps me to read out loud, but is it too much? Like maybe people don't like being their message being read or their names being said. Yes, it's fascinating. It's tangential. Oh, I like this, but I don't know how to pronounce it, P. It's tangential mouth noises. Tangential. I like that phrase though. Maria P agrees. She does throw jabs, is directed to him. She definitely doesn't like him. Workplace bullying is a thing. We have to do biennial awareness seminars at my job. Yeah. I wonder if they do that in Hollywood too. They should. They have like all the safety meetings and all the seminars and things. Um I'm a professional chatter. That's enough for me. Behind the scenes on Ryan's projects, maybe she didn't. Sometimes it is like interesting. Oh, wow, I missed a lot. She didn't put 1 cent in this movie and had no trouble spending it though. I wanna see the receipts as an executive producer. Where is your money? Whether her own money or the money that she raised from, investors. Where are those monies that came from her as an executive producer? She wanted to be a producer, executive producer, whatever. Where is her contribution? She just like did all of this on other people's money. They keep saying that in the lawsuit, at least. Um, yeah, Tevi. Sorry, I kind of feel like standing up for you, Tevi, not Trevi. Although I also almost read it that way, but Tevi. Um, just as a fellow, I get Ariana a lot instead of Arena. At work, I would get so mad at people that I work with that would like in emails call me Ariana or even out externally. I'm like, you see my name there. You work with me. We've worked together. Like this isn't just like a random person or, did you hear that the clause, but if you get my name wrong, it's not that big of a deal unless like we're working together and it's pretty clear. Did you hear about the clause in Justin's contract that stated the rights to the story can revert back to Colleen if Justin is ever, yeah, the morality clause. My friend keeps telling me of that one. Yes. I haven't, is the contract probably not, right? The contract's not anywhere publicly. But yeah, I've definitely heard of that. So they probably like were like, "Oh, I really like I enjoy taking, more of a role in this movie, more of a responsibility and control over this movie. I want more, more, more." And maybe she sat with Ryan or with her team or whoever, like, what can we do for me to get the rights for the next movie? Maybe she doubled up with Colleen, like, hey, like I really, maybe they fit really well with how they saw this project. And she kind of the same thing. And with Colleen, they were talking like, how can Blake take over this movie? I don't know. This is like thoughts, theories. Um, they're saying Ryan Reynolds created Lady Pool to replace his love interest in Deadpool, as Marvel is now making. Yeah, I didn't hear that. R-rated superhero movies. Wait, I don't know how that goes into it, but um, because wait, why is Lady Pool more R-rated than what's her name? I actually don't know the name of Morena Baccarin's character. I did not know that specifically, but I did do a video on how it seems like Morena was also not included in press conferences, press tours. She was separate from the rest of the cast, but also it seems like she wasn't a huge character in this movie, so maybe that's why. However, in this video that I found when I think my friend like pointed that out with Morena. And when I saw like I did like a quick vid. I'm getting better at research. I did a quick search and I saw this video where Morena is being interviewed and talks. And it sounds like also Ryan doing a lot of rewrites and improvising. He also already improvises. But I thought that was interesting. Yeah, watch that movie. I think that's a short one, or at least I should have. Maybe it's a lives. I need to go back and like chapter all the lives. But yeah, it's maybe towards the end of the one live that has the thumbnail with Morena. That's a very interesting one, and watch that interview. Because she says that I mean, off the bat, that specific video is cut right off the bat talking about how they're in talks, they're in negotiations, and she doesn't know because there are a lot of changes to her character now. And she says now that Marvel has taken over. And then Bohemian Diva did a video a few days after that saying, well, maybe it's because Blake was jealous. Um, who knows? Because apparently Blake, and I have not seen that. Let me know if you find that video anywhere. But apparently Blake, during that second Deadpool, made a comment on the red carpet or in an interview where she made a jealous comment around that. You know, it's just so weird. I mean, you're actors, and yes, these both of them have had a history of connecting with their fellow actors. More so Blake, so maybe she's projecting, but still, I don't know. But yeah, nope. I went a little bird emoji. That would be a good angle to talk about. What's the angle P? Sorry, like way up there. Didn't Ryan refer her to as the dog trying to get a new papa? Lady Pool. Is that who he referred to? Um, I just read your comment. Thank you. You're awesome. Oh, Tevi with Anha. I agree. Sony was worn out, but I still blame them for this debacle because they put a lot of strain on Justin and yeah, and Jamie Heath. I mean, yeah, they kind of just left them stranded. Didn't have their back for sure, but some I don't know. I would give them a little slack, but yeah, that's they're so much bigger. They should have, and just like WME and all these, they should have been a little bit more moral. I don't know. And the dog, don't know what that conversation is about. Yes, she flies private, but that's not her product at risk. Yeah, I didn't mean like okay, that's like better. I was just it was something that was like on my mind too, as far as when I heard about that. But yeah, she still shouldn't do that. Period. But she kind of. I mean, it was hers in a way. She took that. Which way is this going? Okay. Um, yeah, the bird. Um, Tevi, you're welcome. JLo is crazy talented and beautiful. I agree. JLo is not a takeover artist, even if she might be difficult. She is a consummate professional. Yeah. Um, I mean, she went and did her own movie. The production houses or whatever said no with her uh greatest story never told or ever told, or whatever the movie was on Prime that was accompanying the her album, and she put in her own money. I don't know. I feel like that says something that's different. Where is Blake putting her own money and making her own project that she's passionate about? um yeah, I agree. Tevi still catching up in the comments. You think Hoover and Blake planned something for sequels of I just was talking about that, Maria. Yeah, I think. And Tevi's like, yes, I do. I saw an interview with just the two of them. They were asked a question about whether Blake. Oh, interesting. I didn't see that interview. Maybe I did see it. um yeah, would want to do a sequels or something, and she gave Colleen a knowing look and said if Colleen has control of it, yes. If you know that, I wanna see that. Oh my gosh, just let me know if you know that interview where you saw that, which interview that was. I wanna see this. Ooh, tea, coffee? I feel like we're past tea, spilling the tea. We're like, mm, just we're on coffee, we're on espresso with this story. Um Giving J-Lo grace because I actually wanted her and Ben to work out. Me too. Me too. It was a beautiful story, and I think I feel like she really loved him. I think he loved her too. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but I think she really loved him. When you see them together, the way that she looks at him, there's just so much love there. I don't think any of that was fake. But who knows what, didn't work. It's sad. But yeah, I like that. Mm, what was it? Benifer, first Benifer. So really awkward that it was Benifer number two with his when he married Jennifer, not Aniston. Oh my God, Jennifer. Oh crap, I used to be so good with names. You know who I mean. Um, no exact words, but what was the meaning? Interesting. She screwed this up. Nobody is going to watch any now. I don't see at this point any of the sequels doing good because sometimes, drama can cause more excitement and people to see more of this. Not this one. Not this one at all. Um, yeah. Oh, I think I can create a poll because I was going to make a poll on this, but I just want to let you guys go. I don't want you to keep you too long, and I want to get through all these comments. Oh, Die Hard Romantic. Yeah, Maria. Um, yeah, so many people for Ben and Jen. That was Jennifer, the other Jennifer, right? Gosh darn it, what's her name? Jennifer. Just the randomest, and I like her. I do like her. I promise. I just can't think of the word of her last name right now. Um, yeah. Um, the budget for the clothes were insane. If it was her clothes, I don't get it. And her friend's clothes. Why didn't if because she keeps talking how much of it were her own clothes. And I still don't understand what was so costly besides those boots and those things. Like she didn't seem like she was wearing like and why? Why? Does she not know there's such good similar clothes out there secondhand or whatever? I don't know. If she really wanted to take that over. Um oh Tevis. Um That's so cool. What kind of name is that? Is that like a name from are you from the US? Are you from a different country? Or is it like where did that name come from? It's so interesting. It reminds me of this one city in Italy. That's why I ask. I don't know. Tevi, that's who I'm talking to. I'm not a woman, but the style was different. Don't want to offend. Yeah. Um, yeah, the style, I mean, everyone felt like the style. What is going on with that style? It was a choice. That's how I would describe that style. It was a choice. I didn't think it was that bad, not because it was aesthetically pleasing, but I didn't think it was that bad because it was interesting. And if this person is like quirky and a flower shop owner and kind of hippie-ish and whatever, I thought there was something interesting about that. It was a little too much, and especially that first photo that she got criticized for, that was a wrong look. Like, what was that? I mean, that was I don't know, she looked like a homeless person, no offense to homeless people at all. But, you know what I mean? Like, she looked like she just threw all the clothes she had onto her as if she didn't have a place to sleep, and maybe that was the intent because she's, like, a small business owner and she doesn't have a place, maybe, like, she sleeps at the flower shop. I don't know, maybe we don't know that, maybe that's in the book, I don't know, maybe that's a choice. I don't think that was her intent, but, because also why would you no, it couldn't have been that because she's getting all of these, like, expensive clothing and name brands, which I could not tell anyways. Um, but yeah. Um, you pronounced it right. I know, right? I was sad that it fell apart so fast. How rude of Blake and Ryan to think there were even a need to rewrite an approved script that Justin spent so much time on. And again, Justin didn't write the script either. There was a screenwriter that wrote the script along with Justin, maybe, and Colleen. She was involved. I think, I don't know, but like, that was done. And then she comes in like, oh no, we wanted to rewrite all of this. Okay. And sometimes it happens, but yeah, it is pretty rude. Indeed, I felt bad for both JLo and Ben. Has the morality clause been confirmed? Because Blake Lively did say she'd do anything with Colleen Hoover as long as she has the rights. I didn't. I don't think they're do. I don't think Colleen's doing anything. Who knows? I mean, I feel like this was a little too much even for her. But we'll see. I didn't like the style. I think they do match. I think they match in sense of humor. I think they match in vision. They should have just stayed quiet and just done their thing separately. I didn't like the style of wardrobe from the pictures I saw. Yeah, I didn't like the wardrobe that Blake picked out for her character either. Something underfoot with the Lady Bull character. It's been speculated. The dog in Nice Bowl. Wait, I still don't understand this whole dog in Nice Bowl part. That was supposed to be so like Nice Bowl having this dog, dog pool or whatever. Dog pool was supposed to be Blake. Was that like you're saying that was kind of the significance that they were going for? I didn't. I know nothing about Deadpool, so I don't even know. I just kind of took it like, oh, dog, like this multiverse of pools. Yep, I saw that interview with Morena. I don't think it's Marvel changing things. Ryan is phasing Morena out. Yeah, she's awesome. Although, like when she was on Gotham and she got together with is his name Ben? He played Ryan, ironically, in the OC. But I kind of felt a certain way about them because I think he was in a relationship or married, or she was, and then I don't know, they got together, they're married. It was a very similar story like Ryan and Blake. Um, so I didn't feel that great about her or about them at that point, but um, yeah, I think at least she's a great actress. Understated actress, I personally feel like. Um, I can send that interview to you tomorrow. Yeah, please do. Thank you. Just post it in the comments here, or like if you can message me, you can message me on Instagram too, wherever. But the comments for sure I'll see. Um, and then he said you look away, and the dog was trying to find a new papa. I think to his wife, maybe replacing him. Oh. So the dog was a reference to Emily? No, that would be too cruel. Am I, like, really off it? Are you all, like, just, like, on this, and I'm just not getting it at all, and, like, you're laughing? I don't know. Um, like, with the dog pool kind of thing of it. Wait, he said you look away, and the dog was trying to find a new papa. Think to his wife, maybe replacing him. That would be so cruel. Just like beyond bullying. Gardner, Jennifer Gardner. Thank you. I'm so sorry, Jennifer Gardner. She's awesome. She is, I feel like, the epitome of strength. She has handled all of her stuff with so much grace and also so much vulnerability and reality. And because she talks about, like, yeah, I don't have great days. Like that day she was on, oh my gosh, I'm screwing everyone's name. I don't know, Drew Barrymore show, and I think talking about that. But yeah, she's awesome. It's hard, because like I feel like Jennifer Lopez and Ben loved each other, and you can see that. Definitely, I feel like Jennifer Lopez loved Ben for sure. I don't know as much on the opposite side, but he went back with her, and it seemed like he loved her a lot. And that he loved her a lot. And then you see Jennifer Gardner with him too, and I feel like that's like they do look a little bit to me a lot more like equally in love and like really together and more of a family, but maybe because they had so many years together, I don't know. But yeah, it's a hard one. I'm glad I don't have to make that choice. Like that's a hard one to have two people that you love, and you know yeah, it's a lot. The dog in Deadpool was supposed to represent Blake. Some people speculate. Okay, all right. That's so lost with that. Um, Gardner. Yeah. Sorry. Is it? I don't even know why I think. Oh my gosh! When you type, yeah, it is Gardner. When you type Jennifer Coolidge, Jennifer Connelly, Jennifer Lawrence, Jennifer Aniston, anyone following the Jennifer Aniston and Obama thing, I've not been able to click in one of those videos, partially because I'm like, this is kind of crap. I don't even want to entertain this. Um, but yeah, Garner without DT, whatever, just RN. Thank you for that, Tevi. Um, Tevis is an old Irish name. Okay. It's been in the use for many generations. That's cool though. That's awesome. That's even more awesome when you're like keeping that kind of history with you. Arena is not a Romanian name. I'm originally from Romania. It's it's coming from Greece. Erini is like the original. It means peace, and it goes into Irina for Eastern Europeans, and Alina, Arina, or Arena. Like my name is not as common, but yeah. So that's really cool. Ireland, yeah. And it's a really cool name. Either Zach or Candace has the video of Blake and okay, maybe that's why. Who's Zach? Hold on, who's Zach? A YouTuber that I've not seen. They were expensive, homeless clothes. I thought that Justin and Colleen wrote the script with the screenwriter. No, they totally had the screenwriter do the adaptation, and I think Justin was like kind of reviewing it or whatever, and trying to incorporate Blake's notes or something. I don't know. That's confusing too. Yeah, that's a good question. Who did write the script in the end? But they credit a screenwriter on this movie. So did the screenwriter like did she not do anything in the end? Was she in name place only? Then she fired the editor. Yeah, first AD they claim in the timeline, and the editors, all the editors, 2 editors that Justin had. Although, the Reddit post claimed that he also fired some editors at the beginning and hired these 2. I don't know. So I don't know how many editor, you know, sequences there were on these. Um, yeah, someone got fired. Who knows how many people got fired? This may be too far, but PB speculate he used, oh, okay, the term papa because it's a term JB used a lot in videos with his kids. So much content is popping up on YouTube of him for me. Oh my gosh. Who knows? Yeah, who knows how deep into that it gets with that, you know, nice bull character. People, okay, people. um Candace Owens talked about how the dog in Nice Pool movie was supposed to represent Blake. Thank you again. Yeah, I was so lost. You have to watch the dog pool scene and you'll get it. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really see that. Oh, so much homework for me. Thank you. And I mean thank you, because sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, what's out there now that, it's getting quiet on their end. Um, the Carhartt jacket and dry hair were awful together. Didn't even see that. Carhartt jacket? Is that like a, oh, that's a brand. Is that like that first video? Oh, yeah. Jersey Flaw kept saying like it was her hair was its own character. I thought that was mean. I like Jersey. I love you, Jersey. You'll never watch this, you're too big for me, but for my channel. But yeah, like that was a little too mean. But yeah, Blake Lively does have a lot of hair, and in every movie, like that is like it is her. Um, yeah, I don't know. I was watching the hair brand that she launched, and or it's like getting 300 likes per post or something. I don't think anything has even been posted in a while. That's kind of been dropped. But they got Allure or Glamour magazine like an award for that they posted on Instagram. The whatever Bobby Brown, not Bobby Brown, oh, not Bobby Brown, whatever the Brown, Blake Brown, whatever her hair care line is. And I was like, well, those things are bought because everyone complained about how bad that hair care is. And people even show like the you know containers were just so clunky, so plasticky and stuff. And also in an age where, you know, come on, get with the causes. We're supposed to reduce plastic, Blake. Put those things in like something else. Um, but yeah, anyways. Yeah. No, not Emily. Okay, yeah, good. That would have been that would have been a little too far. I was like, whoa, that's like way too far. Ryan. Dog was Blake. Blake replacing Ryan for Baldoni allegedly. Oh, okay, Maria. Thank you. That like all puts it all together. All right, I get that storyline. Now I'm following with you guys. I'm following. Um, yeah. I yeah. I said this, earlier, Maria, like I was saying this earlier in this video, like it seemed to me, and I didn't speak up about this. Maybe I should have to have the receipts. Like, look, I was one of the first people to say this theory, but like it seems to me that um she had a crush on Brandon Sklenar. That or she's really love bombing or whatever. Now I'm using, this word like everyone, but like she's really buttering him up. One or the other. But it seems like she's gushing a lot over him. And the way that I've seen them in the video and stuff, in the behind the scenes like captures of people on the street, capturing them. It seems that's more likely to me. Um, Unless it was like way before the movie started and we have no evidence of her crushing on Justin. Who knows? But yeah, no, she made him sound so bad in that one clip in this video. For I don't know if everyone on here saw it, but in the video that I saw in this like panel video when she talked about like, oh, so you don't like Ryle or whatever. That's not what she said, but made Justin sound so bad where she made him sound like jealous. And maybe those again, those were his words, but taken completely in a different tone. But I don't even think that much. I don't even think that much. Okay, we're almost at the end here. I think I watched it right before I came over here. Okay. The video, the interview, or the dog thing. Jennifer Garner is extremely classy. Yeah, Ben has great taste in women. I just realized. Just- yeah, he does. Yeah, I mean it's not bad. Those two women are not bad. But I think he was allegedly with Blake Lively as well for a tiny little second. Didn't last. But when they were filming The Town, uh wow. I don't even know his name, Affleck. Yeah. But I think like that's what they say that, oh, maybe he was you know, they got together too at one point. But either way, nothing went further than that. So that's one good thing. Um but yeah. What else? Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow. He was with Gwyneth Paltrow too. Um I feel that was like a little too much with Gwyneth. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. He's kind of all over the place. He's dated like really young people too. I don't know. He's all over the place. But between these two, yeah, these two women were pretty nice. Um, in the same way, I won't even click on the Obama Aniston articles. Yeah, it just feels ridiculous. It just feels ridiculous. I don't know. Like, where did that come from? It just sounds. Maybe we'll like find that's like not ridiculous. Maybe I'll watch one of those and see. But it's like it came out of nowhere. Like so random. Just wanted to make sure. I thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. Oh, Rabia doesn't happen often. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, sometimes I just pronounce it as best as I can. I don't and also, like, I don't know people that are from other countries. I don't know which country exactly, and sometimes, that depends on the pronunciation. But yeah, sometimes if I see a name and that I've not encountered before, I just kind of default to Romanian. Like, actually every letter pronouncing or kind of like a Spanish pronunciation where you're pronouncing the letters that way. But yeah, Anari, thank you. Yeah. So my name, I guess, is what is it? An anagram or something of my first name, Arina Anari. So yeah, I made this channel, Anari. I have the other one, but you couldn't have the little like accent, and also there's no accent. That there's no, I forget what accent that is over the I in Romanian. But I thought that was like really cool, and to make sure that the stress was on that last syllable. But yeah, I also have a channel with my filmmaking. That's arinaanari, and so I wanted to differentiate when I was starting my vlog, so I created this one. I didn't know how to name it, and I was just kind of was watching Superwoman, Lily Singh, and I kind of found my own way with this. I don't know. Um, but yeah. Also, Rabia, where are you from? If you're from somewhere else, or where is that name originating from? Um, yeah, that makes sense. You're right, Tevi Gardner. You would think I would know. Um, yeah. It's okay, cause I think the way that we pronounce Gardner, if you pronounce it with a D or not, it's largely I don't think you can tell, so, maybe our brains are like, just however they remember it remembers. Follow her on Instagram too, Small World. Um, or just a big celebrity, I like that, yeah, so cute. This chat is awesome, a lot of good and interesting comments. Hey, Maria Rodriguez, welcome. Um and Zach Peter. Okay, Zach Peter. I'll look him up. I've not heard of him. So I'll look him up in his videos because now it's kind of quieting down. And I'm getting a little anxious for stuff to watch around this. Um, yeah, Blake's hair care range is out of my range. $30 for a small bottle of shampoo. That's a lot for the quality of the, maybe that's why people got on her quality, of the bottles and things. That's a lot. $30. I've bought shampoo that much before. I did not find it very different. I did find it different than like Suave, the or like VO5 or whatever. It also depends on the hair and the kind of shampoo, but yeah, I found it different than that. But like, yeah, if anyone knows like good shampoo recommendations for hair that's just like weird, too dry and too oily and everything in between and moppy, let me know because I struggle with that. But yeah, $30 is a lot. But with my hair struggles, I might pay that much. I don't know. That's a hard one. It is a lot. Whoever did her hair in the movie looks like mine without conditioner. Yeah. Yeah. I think she likes the salty hair look. I think that was part of her brand. Um, Bleak is gushing about Brandon and Atlas. Yeah, and Colleen too. Um, I mean, he is. Brandon Sklenar is charming and good looking, and he stood by Blake, and he's kind of like, you know, kissing her butt a little bit in some of these videos. But yeah, he's a good looking guy. Plenty to gush about, but yeah. That's one of my favorite things about the internet, meeting people from all over the world. Yeah, it's an Arabic name. Hey, Ohio, I'm Ohio. I'm Cleveland, Ohio. Nice to meet an Ohioan. Um, yeah, that's awesome. I would have guessed that. I know people from they're in Canada that are Arabic. I don't think they have that name. I think a sister of this family had that name or something like it. So I would have guessed that. But yeah, yay, Ohio. Yeah, Ben was married to Jennifer Gardner. At the time, the rumors that yeah, and there was like apparently a black eye video that people are like, was this like photoshopped? And I didn't even discuss that when I was doing her like Blake Lively's history. That was a while ago. Wow, these videos. There are a lot of videos that I made, but yeah, I made that video a while ago, all in this month, but a few videos ago, and I didn't even discuss that because I was like, I don't remember this, and I don't know. This could be, tabloid Photoshop, whatever. So, um, but yeah, Jennifer Aniston rumor came from Megan McCain. That's surprising. I don't know. I kind of like Megan McCain, um, but okay. I don't know. Just, it just doesn't. They don't go together. It just doesn't mesh in my world. Yeah, allegedly. Um, yeah, that's so crazy. Hmm. Yeah, anyways, and then Tevi, Rabia, I'm glad you're here. And look forward to getting to know you. It's such fun group of people. Yeah, I love this. I love this. I took so much time. I'm sorry. I was like, just really went one by one. But I enjoyed doing that and getting to know like each other more and just like kind of ending up talking about other things, just hanging out basically. So that's like really awesome. And it's so nice to like see new faces or new names in some faces or avatars over here. Um yeah, okay, Eva in New York hair care line. Um yeah, I tried the filter, it didn't do anything. Maybe I don't have the right filter. Just like a regular Home Depot filter thing. So yeah, as far as time that I go live, your Pacific time, so that's yeah, that's a little early for you. Like 4 o'clock when I go at 8 o'clock. I Thinking of 8 o'clock. I'm Eastern, so right now it's 10 o'clock, and I tend to go so long. So, um, like, yeah, around 8:30. It seemed like people were coming in more at 8:30, so I might, start at 8:30. I also usually have done like around 12 noon Eastern time. Um, like this morning, or around noon, around 2 p.m. actually, I started going over part 3 of the, excuse me, amendment, and I have another one tomorrow scheduled for noon Eastern time, going over that, just reading the final 20 pages. Everyone's been reading those at different paces. It's all over, the internet at different paces, because it was so much for all of us. Excuse me, but I'm also thinking of. Wait, there was one more thing. Oh, of reading Blake Lively's complaint, but then let me know if you. I think it's better to wait for her to, or for them to amend it like they did, and then read it, because I won't remember what was changed or added. And once they amend it and release it, or file it, and then we get it, once that's happening, maybe I'll just read that instead of doing that. We'll see when, that could take. They have 2 weeks. They wanted 2 weeks to do that, I think, right? Or to this weekend, I forget. um but yeah, so that's kind of like right now my schedule. I'm figuring the schedule out, and a lot of what's deciding the schedule is you guys, honestly. I want you to like be here, to participate with each other, and for me to like butt into the conversations and not be so confused, or be so confused and not know what's going on, and answer any of your questions like directly, and going off on tangents that, like, I'm so curious about that video now. And yeah, so, and I know I was trying to figure out when other people are going live so we don't compete, because I also watch them, but I typically watch replays most of the time. I'm new to the watching live, but I like chatting too, so I tend to try to catch those lives. But yeah, so let me know when it works for everyone, and what, you know time zone or whatever. Or like if you just let me know Eastern time zone, kind of what would work for you guys. Maybe I'll do a poll, and yeah, people can vote on that. And it can be anonymous. You don't have to like tell me details. Um, so yeah, there are so many YouTube and TikTok beauty influencers who hate those like hair products. Yeah, but part of it, I did wonder, is that because of the hateful sentiment towards Blake that came from this movie premiere too, it's kind of hard to like take it apart, which is kind of the risk you take when you promote a product, right? With a movie, one can have the effect on the other. Um, but yeah, Florida. Um, yeah, I did think of, the Taylor Swift song when I said that. It kind of came out, and then I'm like, "Oh, wait, that's what I'm singing." Temu Thor, Can't Act. Oh, he fades into the background. Oh, Temu Thor. That's Brendan, right? That's what people call him. I haven't seen it enough to know if he can act. He was such a tiny part in this movie. Um, I don't know, I thought he was okay, but, as far as gushing over him, I think he's a good-looking guy. It's 7:10 PM right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, OH, um, work 2 to 9 weekdays. Okay. I don't want to bring justice to Blake's complaint. Okay. Meaning like by talking about it. I want to read it. I mean, it doesn't have to be positive or negative. I really want to understand, when things are mentioned and cross reference. I want to know what I'm talking about and what these are, not necessarily to give um grace or whatever. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sorry, like, I think Donna was saying this too, like, it's uncomfortable because if I find something that's like fair or I find fair to mention, I will say it and like don't hate me on either side. Like if I criticize Justin's side and I did a little bit in this amendment or said, hey, like that could have been handled better or like where's the proof for that or whatever, and vice versa. Like if I find something on Blake's side that is like, oh, okay, I'll give her that or oh, that doesn't sound great. But more so, I want to read it so I know what this conversation is. Right now, I have only part of that conversation. I read her 30, whatever, 23 points or whatever, however many. And that was like before I knew so much of this too. And sometimes I talk about it, and a lot of it is also like, is she, and I guess this is a more quick, you know, thing to look into, but I don't have to read the whole thing. But is she actually claiming SH? Is she suing him for that, or is the complaint for that, or is it solely for the smear campaign and retaliation, and not because I feel like if it's only for that and not for the SH, she won't be subject to prove right to prove that SH actually happened. That's what I guess I'm like very curious about. Um yeah, looking forward to her deposition. Are depositions uh public? Will they like be, typed out and public like included in lawsuits? So new to this lawsuit world. I want to watch Suits now again. I didn't think I would like Suits because I also found out about it when Meghan Markle was a big thing, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I also don't like when things are popular. Like, oh, I don't trust that. Too many people like that. And then I watched it, I think last year at one point or so, and I really liked it. I was surprised. I really enjoyed it. Um, Forget talk about, like, the 2 best friends. I don't know their names on screen or off screen, but the main lawyer guy and his secretary, don't remember their name in any kind of way, but I love them, and I love that they were best friends, outside of the the filming, and that they, shared a house or apartment or whatever when they were filming on location. I'm like, that is what this movie did not have. And to something that I think Donna didn't catch even, and she was asking about this, and I commented. I don't know if she saw my comment. Like, yes, like we don't. I didn't see exactly, the invitation, but Justin referenced the invitation in the text messages between Ryan and him. That apparently Blake and Ryan, or Blake and told him Justin that they were inviting him to stay with them while they were filming in New York. And that was like in a text message before any of this went down. Any of this went down. It wasn't even close. So yes, like he was invited to stay over with them, or like stay with them in the, the same place. I don't know, or whatever, same building. I don't know. So which is like kind of like crazy. But when you think of, those 2 other people that I don't remember their names, but they were best friends since like acting school or something for years and years. Not quite the same thing, but yeah. Um oh yeah, food salad, word salad. um yeah, look for that interview. Thank you. I'll look for it too. I guess I'll wander into Candace's videos again. Sometimes it's just like too much. Her energy is like too much for me, just all the intrigue and whatever. Not bringing justice, I should say bring dignity. Yeah, but yes, it's important to read as well. I will always advocate like I was saying, also know your opponent, but also just like know both sides. Just know both sides. And I was thinking about this. I was talking about this attachment Adam guy or whatever, and I was like, to have a really good argument, or to see good or bad, or to have like a fair argument or fair opinion, like I need to watch his stuff, or with this, with Blake, like I need to read her stuff, and I need to maybe watch pro Blake YouTubers, TikTokers, or whatever. I don't know. Where are they? I want to know if anyone comes across anything like that. Let me know. Even though like it can be triggering, but vice versa, right? If we expect someone on the other side to give, this side a chance, kind of like, I don't want to have hypocrisy be my thing. So um it's just like sometimes it's really hard because it does trigger you and you want to scream like, what are you talking about? And they feel the same way on the other side about this side and vice versa. But I think we need to kind of work through that somehow. I personally at least want to work through that and find a good place, excuse me, where I can, you know um sit through uncomfortable interviews or uncomfortable videos and uncomfortable pieces of information that can be triggering. I do get triggered really quickly around like, oh, it's not fair, it's injustice, it's lies and whatever. But I need to find a way that I can calmly like really process that and sit with that and hold that space. But yeah, working on that. I don't know if this is the story to start working on it, but yeah, need the full picture. Yeah, food salad should be an inside joke now. Yeah. Yeah. If I make like swag, which I had started dabbling into that. Yeah, this is a whole other word. I'll just put that food salad as our inside joke. Um yeah. I don't know if the deposition will be public, but leaks exist. Yeah, but that might I don't think leaks should exist in this because it can jeopardize Justin's side too. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I hope they play everything smart and they don't do anything that will jeopardize their case. What's your stance on the morality clause? I don't believe one exists. Yeah. I've just heard about it plenty from my one friend. She keeps telling me, Do you know? Do you remember?" And I don't know. I feel like I didn't really think twice about that. I kind of took that as a, yeah, of course. For such a subject, I think it's also, isn't that like a more like um common clause in contracts? I don't know. It's a tricky one, but yeah. Oh, if it gets that far after the trial. Um Oh, yeah, 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 the deposition, okay, yeah, yeah, I feel like after the trial, all bets are off, right? And anyone can post anything, so that could be a redemption story over there from either side, I don't know, but yeah, what they say makes no sense, Blake's side. They did invite him to stay over, yeah, um I went from not having an opinion on Blake to disliking her intensely this week. Maybe I need a hobby or something. I took up painting. I have not painted since this happened in 2 weeks. I've not really painted more than a couple of things that I noticed. Like I was getting a little better. And now I'm like, I don't even know what to paint. But yeah, I would highly encourage something that's like completely different and just zoning into it, because this can be a lot and it's burning out. But yeah, I was kind of neutral with Blake. There were times when I even liked her and liked the banter with her and Ryan. I thought, when they wished each other happy birthday and they cut each other out in pictures, I thought that was like really funny and cute. um and I still feel like they love each other. I think, that's real. But yeah, I don't know if I hate her, but I don't hate her. I don't know her to hate her, and even if I knew her, I would find something redeemable for sure. But I do feel strongly that she should like have consequences appropriate for what she did, and I think those consequences being appropriate are like they should be huge. I don't know canceled exactly, but after this new amendment addition, the timeline, like I said, to me, the door was open to her SH claims. less and less. It was closing in, but it was quite open. And then now it's closed, not locked, because we haven't heard her side that much. And, but, and nothing's been proven one way or another, not really shown. It's kind of two kind of parallel conversations almost, besides that one video. But it's not locked, but it's pretty closed. And I feel disgusted by a lot of things that I'm reading, even from her own like words or screenshots or whatever. And if this is true, the way that this has been presented, if it's completely true this way, I think, again, I don't think I'll hate her as a person. I think, she's a human being, but what she did, I hate what she did. And I think it deserves like strong consequences where their power should be minimized by a whole lot. Um, yeah, at least especially, or I should say, if that's the only way that they can um, not do this again, you know. Uh, but yeah, always ask yourself, if a person has had a stellar reputation, then they suddenly become a pariah because they either start working with, dating, etc. A popular person. Think critically. Yeah, yeah. Always think critically. But yeah, any sudden changes one way or another for sure. Watercolor, so I did acrylic a long, long time ago. That was okay. Watercolor is what I started because it seemed like really easy. Like you just have what, it's actually more messy. It's kind of harder in a way, but you have the water and then you have, the palette. It's not as messy as acrylic or whatever. I don't do the tubes, and then I also bought a gouache because I was like, what's the difference? I sort of figured out the difference. I have not opened the gouache set, but it's like the things that, art influencers keep mentioning mean something. I don't know. I'll include it at the end of this video because I need to figure out which ones. But yeah, do you also paint, Tevi? Or do art or anything? Um, yeah, thank God I work keeps me sane. Yeah, I don't right now. So it's been interesting to find the balance, Maria. I have to paint. My daughter got me into it. Art therapy, more or less. Yeah, yeah. You just answered my question before I even asked. Um, that's awesome. Do you have like favorite like tutorials or art channels, or how do you paint? And which one do you paint? Because I'm struggling trying to figure out like ideas and tutorials, inspiration, especially like I don't have a good hand, and yeah, it's been hard. Does anyone else have like fun hobbies to share that maybe we can start picking up to like de-stress after, these things, these conversations? Working actors in a hard business but have great reputations with cast and crew is telling to me. I will always give the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Yeah. And there was something that I read today in his lawsuit and Justin Baldoni's amendment to the lawsuit or complaint, where it was like, was it in there? I don't know, but basically, like, where are the people that are supposed to speak badly or well about him? Like, I don't see anyone speak one way or another about him. And as PR, yeah, it was like Stephanie Jones was alluding to things that she's like covered for him or whatever. Just made sure that there's good press, which. I mean, that's nothing surprising. I wouldn't expect anything less from any of these people. They all had some bad press in some way or another, whether false or real. But either way, where is the uncovering? Blake supporters uncover things for us. Like, yeah, not because there is something or I want there to be something or whatever, but like, where is it? Because we don't see anything. Um, But yeah, Colleen Hoover was new to film adaptation. No, she did. I'm gonna fight her fight like Justin. I loved it when I was reading his text message. Like, it's not my first movie. I've directed what, two other movies. But yeah, I will say the same with Colleen. She had another adaptation, but not to this scale. Like, it was like some sort of like platform, almost like a made for TV movie, but not even TV. It was like a platform that she had apparently some like really bad experiences with. And it seemed like she had some other, but for sure that one she mentioned in her email. But yeah, it was like her first big one. And even it wasn't even that big, it turned even bigger than it ended up being, kind of. But yeah, studios produces films to bring awareness to positive social changes. In my opinion, there was no need to bring in a morality clause. Yeah, but it's her prerogative or whatever. I totally missaid that word. It's she's entitled to have whatever clause. It's her personal art, her personal book, it's personal to her every time she speaks about it to her family. So yeah, but yeah, until I get on social, and also some people have still the genderized bias of like, oh, I don't trust men. Maybe she was coming from that. um yeah, more or less, my space bar is barely working on my laptop. Oh. Oh, yeah, 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 that's fine. We got it. Maria, until I get it on social media. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keeps you sane, the work. We can conclude with certainty that Ryan has to adhere to a code of ethics conduct with Disney because Nice Pool content is no longer up on his socials. Oh, really? Is it? Ooh, nice. Good. It was just terrible to begin with, even if it wasn't a reference. And I know it's, him poking fun at everything and everyone in between, but that was a little too much, I feel like, anyway. Also, if there was a morality clause, especially with Disney, why is Deadpool a part of Disney? Why is Deadpool part of Disney? That does not make sense. Deadpool is the furthest thing that I would think Disney should have. Also, if there was a morality clause, Justin would no longer own the rights to the franchise. He still owns them. Oh, okay. But because nothing's has been proven, and everyone who's jumped the gun on taking words from him or dropping off from his podcast or his movies or whatever, or like as a talent manager dropped him, etc. Those came really fast just from allegations, and nothing was proven. So the rights wouldn't be taken from him unless this is proven that SH was a thing or anything else that was potentially in that morality clause. Which side will Hoover be on in the trial? I mean, that's a poll too. Which side will Colleen be on in the trial? Um, yeah, I'm gonna type your question, Maria. Um, I'm gonna credit you. But yeah, um, that's a very, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sending the poll. Um yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know. Uh my personal guess, I don't think I can vote on this. Can I vote on this? No. My personal guess is like she's probably going to have a hard time. I would say because to be on the stand, like, it's legal, like, you have to tell the truth. I don't think she's someone who wouldn't tell the truth, so I think she'll have a hard time. She might have try very hard to avoid being on the stand, because she probably realizes how much she doesn't know, doesn't have the answers to. So I would say neither or both. Like, I would hope she would just say what she remembers and speaks from her experience as truthfully as possible. Like, I don't remember, I wasn't there, no speculation and all that stuff. But yeah, that's a good one. Um, yeah. Think critically. I like crafting. P likes crafting, knitting, crocheting, making shower fizzies. What are the shower fizzies? The like for the soap and stuff. I tried crocheting. Um, that's awesome. That is very, very calming. Very calming. So those are good ones. Those are good suggestions. Stephanie Jones leaked a lot of stuff about The Rock and when he left her. Yeah, if she had anything on Justin, we'd know by now. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Yeah, as soon as she, got left behind, she wouldn't have waited probably for a lawsuit or even in the lawsuit. Who knows? But I think she would have maybe, or maybe, she was working with Blake and Blake's like, I have something even better, you know? Yeah. Um, Yeah, good question. She has to say the truth. I think Deadpool was part of 20th Century Fox's merger with Disney. Okay. That's a horrible, horrible one to take on the franchise. I don't know. People have also I've heard different things around Disney, but um yeah, it's oh my gosh, what? Wait, 3 hours? We've been on 3 hours. Um need to reply to my boyfriend. Yeah, it's I still like Disney. I like the idea of Disney for however all the criticisms. I think Disney as the idea of what we had growing up should still exist. Something like that should exist. So that's sad, but yeah. All right. So right now, Justin 29% will Colleen take Justin's side and 71 neither. It's interesting that none of you think that Blake will like Colleen will take Blake's side. Because she's been very, very tight with Blake. Um, yeah, I'm so curious what we'll find out. I'm so curious. Oh gosh, I cannot wait another year. I just want this to go fast. Just, oh my goodness, there's so many questions to sit with this a year. It's like torture. It's a long story. DP ended up at Fox. Now it's back with Marvel at Disney. um, yeah. Marvel is also part of Disney, right? Because on Disney Plus you have, or is that also the merger? Because, um, yeah, you have all the Marvel stuff on Disney, which, yeah, um, true. Wouldn't any of them provide proof by now if they had any? Um, yeah, that's what they say, but we shouldn't get too comfortable because we don't. It's not decided yet. Until it's decided, until it's ended, we can be blindsided by something. It would be really, I would say, excuse me, the only way that there's proof on Blake's side that is strong proof, although, a lot of people say she didn't think it would go to the actual court, but mm, there is that chance that maybe she did think that and she doesn't want, or even if she didn't think that, she just has proof that is too personal, and maybe it's like conversations with Taylor Swift or whatever, and it's too personal for her to want to put to the public. And that's why they want like to close down everything. Yeah, it's kind of scary, the protection order, because I don't know if anyone else got this perception, but it's kind of scary feeling like, are they going to, with those victims, are they going to pay people? Are they going to make things up? Or, and also I don't think this will like run the risk with, if someone comes forward against Justin and gets on the stand and they're supposed to tell the truth, so they tell the truth, and it's not exactly as you know clear, or as it's proven in the end that, okay, that wasn't SH, that wasn't anything. um the one thing that I feel like is, if it was against Blake would totally not work with those people again, and she would totally blacklist them. And I don't think Justin would. I think Justin would like kind of see like, okay, like I understand you were put in a hard place, and you were led to believe certain things, and I think he would give grace, as he's kind of shown for Blake too, in a way. He's more so seemed so far that he was fighting for his name, for his career, all that. But yeah. So yeah, more than a year. From what JB alleges, she can be very vindictive. Maybe she has something, but she's holding back. Yeah, February is dragging. Well, it's only the 4th of February, Maria. It's only the 4th. And we still have a protective order that they are expected to meet in like 2 weeks, or file in 2 weeks. They have um, also this amendment also in the next week or 2 weeks that they are, I think, they promised. So, yeah, but also it's good. It's good to have a little bit of lull. We can reflect, we can like process, because we've been all just like reporting this and reacting, and now we can maybe respond and process. Like, I'm really excited about making that live or video of like what this means, like as a greater thing to the society or world or whatever. So it can feel like dragging, but it's only the 4th day, and it started with a bang, right? Was it? Yeah, it was like February 1st that they released the amendment. I think it was February 1st or 2nd. So, and that was like hard. We're still digesting. A lot of content creators are still going through that. So yeah, but yeah, sorry to like, I don't mean to like, I don't know, be mean or whatever. I don't even know what that was in me, but yeah, put you on the spot or criticize your thought about like February dragging. But yeah, it's only 4th. I'm trying to be encouraging, not like put you down, is what I'm saying. Crochet has become a competitive sport. Really? That would actually be really awesome. Knitting or crocheting as like a competition. Does that actually exist online? That I would watch that. Maybe not forever. I probably wouldn't like subscribe to it for more than maybe a few weeks, but I would probably watch that. That would be like, that sounds really cool actually. And I'm not a big crocheter or knitter. I have dabbled in crocheting a little bit. But yeah, a lot of actors start crocheting on set. Baldoni says he won't settle. He wants to take it to trial, as Blake has done too much damage. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Yeah, like, even though so much of the public is on his case, but if it settles, it looks like he's admitting to some guilt at this point. Even if that's not the case, but yeah. Good night, P. Yeah, we're going to adjourn. Is that just a legal term? Yeah, it's getting late, and it's been a while. Wow. 6 hours again for me. But yeah, good night, P. Um, and yeah, have a great rest of your evening or night. I hope Baldoni has a chance to defend himself if they wait until trial to have witnesses. Before I go, there's always a chance for a settlement. Yeah, yeah. There is, yeah, but it's not going to look great. So he's probably not going to prefer that. Justin side. True. Even though they've released a lot, again, for public opinion, most of the public opinion is on his side, but it's still different a little bit. So yeah. Um there is a lot to prepare for the trial. She could have pseudo outright. The CRD wasn't a necessary precursor, as we were initially told. I read the requirements on the California site. Oh, okay. All right. That's interesting. I took that from Emily, honestly. I didn't, that's Emily D. Baker. I just took her word for it. Oh, my first hearts. Awesome. Thank you so much. Good night. Good night, Tevi, as well. Yeah. I hope to see you. I look forward to seeing you guys all again the next time, tomorrow, or one of the next times, whenever you can make it. And yeah. Yeah. And Justin needs me because I wouldn't let him work with Backstabber again. All right. Good night. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful night or day or wherever you are the rest of your time. And I'll see you guys next time. This was I love this. This was so fun. This was so fun. All right. Good night. Peace, love, and compassion. Although I don't think I need to tell you guys. I think you're on the same page. But yeah, anyone who's replaying too. Peace, love, and compassion, empathy, critical thinking. Yeah, let's put that out there into the world. All right. Bye. Have a great night. Thank you. I mean, thank you for coming.